What's up, everyone? It's your girl Red Velvet, always stirring it up. Welcome to LumberJillville. Women's Wrestling Lives Here. Enjoy Mayor Aaron's review of my new AEW figure.
What it do, baddie shelf?
You're not too sure about this. Why did you call a town meeting here?
Okay, valid questions, but for one, seemed like a good place to meet. For two, today's figure reviews of Red Velvet, so what better area to meet than a baddie shelf? And for three, where are Diva Marie and Dexy?
What is 4-4? Yes, and what is 4-5?
I honestly haven't seen them since the Molly Holly Legends video intro where they left you.
Aww. Mayor Stasé, you actually watched the reviews here? You are so hot, sweet, nice, kind, sexy. No!
Quit flirting with Mayor Stasé, Mayor Aaron, and get to the point as to why you wanted us to meet.
Well, today is October 1st, the very first day of Jill-O-Ween. And since my previous training sessions didn't quite go as planned, I figured we could all get together and discuss a strategy to protect LumberJillville this month.
Can you tell us what 4-4 and 4-5 is? I made a bet with Robo Tamina 1.
No, Robo Tamina's. That is a figure of speech when I said for 1, for 2, for 3. That was it. There's no 4-4 or 4-5. But you know what? This is not going as planned. So I say what we need to do is we need to go find Diva Marie and Dexy first. Then we can regroup. But, y'all don't think I should be worried that I haven't seen them in a while, should I?
No, don't worry. Diva Marie and Dexy are probably just off somewhere having sex.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that. I don't even know how they would. Oh, but either way, let me just review this figure. After I review the Red Velvet figure, we can look for Diva and Dexy, okay? Go! Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's Wrestling Lives Here, and welcome to the very first review of Jill-O-Ween 3. Anyone that's followed this channel for the last couple years knows that this is my favorite month of the year. I just have an absolute blast, not only with the videos, with the intros, but also with the figure reviews. And I am super excited to review today's figure of AEW Unmatched Series 5 Red Velvet. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. Alright, now let's start off by taking a closer look at what I think is the best action figure packaging out there on the market today. I absolutely love what AEW and Jazzwares does with the Unrivaled and the Unmatched line. I actually do prefer the Unmatched box because I love the silver and black theme with the blue backdrop. I just think it looks really classy. But yeah, I love the packaging so much that I order at least 2 of the women's figures to keep one MOC and hang up, and then to have one to review for y'all. And sometimes I order multiple if I need one for my desk, but that's beyond the point. Either way, this packaging is gorgeous. I love it. I love the nice open window there. You can see Red Velvet. We have an image of the beautiful Red Velvet on the side there, who did the intro cameo there, which is pretty cool. We have her name there. We have her image on the side, so Series 5. She's number 38. And on the back, We have, ooh, that's a beautiful autograph. It's good. It's quite the improvement from the Jade Cargill autograph on the back of the box. That was just a mess. This one looks great, and this image is great. Seems accurate. This date seems accurate, and then we have the rest of the line. So yeah, there's not much not to like about this figure MOC, and I do highly suggest, if you're a women's wrestling figure collector, to get multiple so you can keep one MOC and one to open and enjoy. So let's try to open this. This is the part of the review where I always fail and make a mess, but we're going to cut the bottom there, and once you cut that one piece of tape, okay, we're doing good so far. Okay, you see that? All right, so now we're going to, screw it. AEW Unmatched Series 5 Red Velvet. This attire is from the March 3rd, 2021 edition of AEW Dynamite, in which the team of Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet would lose to the team of Jade Cargill and Shaq. That's right, Shaq. Alright, so my first impressions of this figure, I mean, this figure freaking rules. Like, I can't wait to take a closer look at this and all the details. So, yeah, before we dive into the details, I just want to show the only accessory she comes with are these closed fists, which is fine because she does have open hands packaged on there. So, alright, with that being said, let's take a closer look at that face sculpt, face scan, and hair sculpt. Alright, so starting off the face scan, face sculpt, and the hair sculpt, I think they do a pretty good job here capturing her likeness, but I do think it's a little bit off. I think it looks more like Tyra Banks in the face to me. You know, something's missing to where it makes it a little bit off. Trust me, it's not horrible, it's not bad, and I actually think it's pretty darn good, but it's not perfect. Now, what I like are the little additional details. If you look real close, the eyelashes are real thick in that scan that was printed on, which is definitely a nice little touch. And I am going to say I did order two, one to keep MOC and one to review for y'all. And I did open the better one because my other one has a wonky printed on scan. And just like all women's wrestling figures, make sure your scan is printed on right when you are getting it. Because if it's a little bit off, it looks wonky. But here, mine's printed on good, and it looks pretty good. The hair sculpt is pretty basic and plain, but it's accurate, and I love it. And it's just a plain black color, and it's straight all the way down. We have some hairs on the side there, hairs on the other side, and yeah, I think they do a pretty good job here. Alright, so moving on down to the body sculpt and the attire, and I do think this is where the figure really stands out and takes off. Now, as far as scaling goes, we will do a comparison between this figure and the Jade Cargill Unmatched 4 figure, and I can show you kind of the scaling problems here. But as we know, all those women's wrestling Mattel figure collectors, scaling's been thrown out the window with women's wrestling figures for some time, and it's no different than the AEW line in my opinion. But either way, I do think they do a great job here with not only the body sculpt, but the part choices, because she is on the smaller side. She's 5'1", and it really portrays that in a proportional way, and it looks really, really cool. Now, the first thing that stands out to me are her tattoos. She has tattoos on her shoulder, her right arm, and then on her right side. And I'm going to be honest with you, the tattoos look great, and that's been one of my complaints with the AEW Jazz Wars figures is the tattoos usually don't look good. I don't know if the ink they use for the tattoos is too dark or looks too cartoony. I mean, go back to that Chris Statlander figure, that shoulder tattoo looks horrible, but here, it actually looks awesome. I think they're making improvements. I think the skin tone here is perfect. I think it looks really, really good. And taking a closer look at the attire, I mean, this attire it's one of my favorite wrestling figure attires that I have in my collection. I just think they do such a good job with the intricate details and the paint application and the sculpting that this is just beautiful. So she has a sculpted on little collar that goes all the way around. Oh, she has a tattoo on her back too. Look at that. Beautiful. And then she has a bunch of sculpted straps on the chest, which is a brand new mold. This whole new mold is a brand new sculpt here, and there's a lot of sculpted detail throughout here. It looks really, really cool. I also like the metallic gold paint with it looks like the red is kind of a metallic red. Whatever it is gorgeous. That red that they used is just amazing, and you have to have a good colored red with red velvet, right? You just have to. And then we have the black accent colors, little silver dots throughout, and the paint detail goes around the back of the top. On her forearms, these sleeves are just painted on, but it's painted on with really good detail with the black, gold, and the red. The bottoms are sculpted on here, and once again, we have that really cool paint detail of the gold, the red, and the black with little silver imprints. Yeah. And then moving on down to the knee pads. Now, these are cool. These are definitely unique, and they're sculpted kind of in different layers here, but they look really, really cool. Once again, with those really good colors that pop. And then moving down to her kick pads and boots, I mean, these are awesome. These are awesome. So yeah, as far as the body sculpt, the attire, and all that goes, I just love the attention to detail that they give to the women's figures, especially all the unique parts that they do and all the custom molding and sculpting that they do for these women's figures. Like, they're really starting to pull ahead of Mattel, in my opinion, as far as showing care and love toward these women's wrestling figures. Alright, so the articulation in these AEW Jazzwares women's figures are pretty awesome. I do think that the head has a little bit of excessive motion. What I mean by that is not only can they look down and up, but they can they have like a pivot joint on their neck, and then kind of do that. And honestly, whenever the female figure comes with interchangeable heads, it makes it nearly impossible to switch them out without boiling water. Anyway, head movement is good. We have that shoulder on a ball joint and has little kind of locks into place there. It's hard to explain unless you feel it for yourself, but it's awesome. She has an upper arm swivel. She has double jointed elbows. Her wrist can swivel. It can also extend up and flex down. She has this upper torso movement, which is really awesome. She can really extend back, really flex down, really side bend. She has a swivel at the waist. Her hip is on a ball joint, can go in all different directions. She has an upper thigh swivel. Knee is double jointed, not inhibited at all by these knee pads, which is awesome. She can swivel at the boot, and her foot can planar flex down and dorsiflex up. So yeah, the articulation is excellent. Alright, so doing that little side-by-side I talked about, so yeah, Red Velvet is listed at 5'1", Jade at 5'10", and you could see that obviously Red Velvet is noticeably shorter in figure form than the Jade. Now I have all my AEW women's figures up on the shelf, and they're all actually pretty similar in height, so scaling definitely isn't a huge priority for their women's figures, or their men's figures for that matter, in all honesty. So I'm not going to really drag it through the mud too much, because I do think they did a good job here with Red Velvet and making it a smaller structure here. So either way, these two figures look freaking awesome together. I want a Kiera Hogan, and I want it now. Alright, so overall, I give AEW Unmatched Series 5 Red Velvet an overall score of a 9.6 out of 10. I love this figure, and truth being told, this might be my favorite AEW women's figure I have in my collection. Not only because I'm a big fan of Red Velvet, she's done a couple cameos for me, but she's just an awesome superstar, and this is an awesome figure to match that, right? And I think the only reason it isn't a perfect 10 out of 10 is because that face scan is a little bit off. So I'm curious what everyone else thinks about the face scan and face sculpt, but to me, it just seems a little bit off. But if that face scan was perfect, then this would be a 10 out of 10 figure in my opinion. I mean, it's a beautiful figure. The attention to detail and the unique sculpting that we got on this figure is tremendous. And yeah, as soon as I'm done with this review, I'm going to get on Ringside and order a couple more because I need one for my desk. So, love this figure. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. For a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews, and make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Also, head on over to ringsidecollectibles.com and use coupon code LJV at checkout to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Now, thanks for watching today. This is my favorite month of the year, and Jill-O-Ween isn't just a one-night celebration. It is the entire month of October, so I have an absolute blast with this month, and I hope y'all have a blast with me. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned because I just got shipping notification that AEW Unrivaled Series 11, Penelope Ford, is en route to LJV. Now with that being said, have a great night, y'all.